Hello friends, today I am going to show you how to go from this to this right here. Now I did forget to film the rest of this intro, but the point of this video is to show you how to do the least, like literally bare minimum, and look put together. So let's just go ahead and dive in. Okay, so I'm a teacher. I'm a mom of 2 young kids, a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. My daughter's in kindergarten. I have to be out of the house between 6:30, 6:45 every day. So I don't have a lot of time on the day-to-day to like really do a full glam look. I wanna show you like minimalistic, get yourself put together, feeling good, looking good, but like doing the least. That's kind of the idea for this video here. Now I do wanna say, I have dry skin, so I have already gone in with my skincare. I've already done my moisturizer, cleanser, toner, all of that, but because of my dry skin, I like a little bit extra, so I am going to go in with a primer. Now, if you have normal skin, if you have oily skin, if you feel like skincare is enough, you can skip this beginning step. But I'm gonna take my Glow Recipe Niacinamide Dewdrops, and it's gonna give me just a little extra bit of hydration on the skin. And I really like kind of a glowy, hydrated look. And with my skin being dry and with it being like the winter, I mean, I do live in hot and humid Texas, but like still colder weather, a little extra hydration goes a long way for me. You can skip that if you feel like your skin doesn't need it. The other thing that I like to do is make sure that I'm going in with some sort of sunscreen protectant. And so for this, I'm gonna skip foundation. I'm not gonna go in with foundation, but I am going to use this product right here. This is the Undefined Beauty R&R Sun Serum. So it's a tinted mineral sunscreen. This is in the light shade, I believe. I think they have multiple shades, and this is the lightest shade. So it is a serum-like texture, and it's gonna give me sun protection, but there is a little bit of a tint to it. Now, you could also go in with nothing. You could not go in with something like this. You could go in with nothing, skip this step and jump right to concealer, or you could go in with some sort of skin tint. I want like a little base, and like I said, I want some sun protection. So what I'm gonna do is just put this on my fingers like this. It is a serum, so it is runny. And I'm just going to put a generous amount all over the skin so that I have sun protection, very minimal tint, very, very minimal tint, but a little bit of something, something on my skin. So this is what my skin is looking like with the sun serum, the sunscreen. Again, it's not a huge tint. I really feel like it doesn't do too much to my actual skin and complexion, but I feel like it does a little something. Gives me some sun protection, kind of evens my skin out a little bit, but it still very much looks like skin. Now I'm gonna go into brows next while I'm letting that kind of sit and absorb and soak into the skin. As you can see, my brows are non-existent. I have to create a brow every single day. There's like nothing there. If you have fuller brows, if you have darker brows, if you have brows that already look how you want them to look, you could totally skip this step. You could go in with either some sort of like clear brow gel. This one is the Patrick Ta Major Brow Lamination Gel. It's going to lock your brows in place. Or you can go in with something like the Gimme Brow, which is a tinted voluminous fiber gel. So still a gel, but there is a little bit of tint there. Oh, I have an itch right here. This is the shade 3 for my red hair. And you can go in and kind of brush that through your brows, and it will give your brows a little bit extra. For me, I still have to create a brow. My brows are non-existent, and I do still want a little bit of something there. So what I typically do is I go in first with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. I have the shade Caramel. I like to use the spoolie side to first brush through my brows and just kind of get them going in the same direction. My brow hairs are very light and they kind of like to do their own thing. But then I will use this to kind of outline, shape my brows, draw in some hair-like strokes, fill in the sparse areas. That's pretty much what I'm gonna do with my Brow Wiz. Then I'm going to go in with my Give Me Brow. And I'm gonna take this has the voluminous fibers that are tinted, and I'm gonna put that on top of my brow to give it a little bit extra, make it look a little bit more full, and take those blonde hairs that I already have and tint them a little bit deeper. Once I feel like that is set in place, I do want to keep these brows in their place. So I'm gonna follow up with the Patrick Ta Major Lamination Brow Gel, and I'm gonna make sure that I put that all over the brows. That's going to kind of like cement my brow hairs in place and give me the overall brow look that I'm hoping for. Okay, so here is what the brows are looking like when they are finished. So it still took me every bit of like 10 minutes to do them. So that's why this is not like a 10-minute makeup routine, but it's something that's important to me. So depending on what you want your brows to look like, there are some options there. Now this next step, again, keep in mind I have dry skin. I do want to go in with some kind of like illuminating primer. So I have two options here, the Orc Glow Lust, and this is the Saie Glowy Super Gel. This one is going to give me a little bit more of a glow and a shine. This one is a little bit more natural. I think I'm gonna go in with this one today. Again, oily, normal, don't want glow, you can totally skip this step. But what I'm gonna do is take a little bit on my hand here, and I'm just going to rub it together on my fingers and just kind of put this where I want a little extra glow, a little extra hydration. If I was doing like an actual skin tint instead of just the sunscreen, I would have done this step first. Like if you were gonna go in with a little bit of foundation or like the Sigma skin tint or something, I would have done this first. But this Saie one is very natural looking. There's no like specks of glitter. There's not really any shimmer. It's just a very subtle extra look. The Orc Glow Lust is gonna have a little bit more bang for your buck. But again, I wanna look dewy, I wanna look hydrated. I need to cover up these under eye circles. Like I said, small kids, like I'm doing a lot here. So I am going to go in with my Sigma Color Correcting Duo in the shade Light to Medium. This is my second one, and I just use my fingers. I kind of dip my fingers into both sides here. And then I'm gonna like press my fingers together, smush them around, and I just take the warmth of my finger and I'm just going to press it on the inner part of my under eye where those dark circles are the most discolored, because again, I do want to look a little bit more awake. I do want to look like a little put together, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to look like a complete hot mess, the complete hot mess that I am, but I feel like this just does a little extra. It's not drying underneath my eyes. It's just gonna take and like elevate my under eyes to the next level, you know what I mean? So just patting that in like that. And then what I'm gonna do is take a lightweight concealer, something that can correct any like issues that I'm having on my skin, which you can see my skin is pretty clear, but again, I have a little bit of discoloration underneath my eyes. So this one is from Natasha Denona. I have the shade N4. I am going to take this and just go in with a light hand. I'm gonna put a little bit more right here. I have a little bit going on here on my chin, and I'm just gonna even it out on the other side. A little bit of redness here on this cheek, a little bit here on this cheek, and I'm just gonna take and do a little bit. Again, you could do it just under your eyes. If you had some blemishes or areas that you were trying to cover up, you could go in and put that concealer. I'm not putting it all over my face. I don't want it all over my face. I'm gonna take my Singe Beauty Sponge. It is dampened already, but I'm gonna take a little bit of my Fix Plus and just give it a little extra spritz here. And I'm gonna use my sponge just to blend that out. If you use a brush, you're gonna get a little bit more of a full coverage. The sponge is going to blend everything out a little bit lighter, give it a little bit more of a sheer, medium sheer effect. So if you want a little bit more coverage, going in with a brush would probably be the better bet for you. But I want everything to be light and natural and not look like I did too much. I still want my skin to show through. And so you can see here, like, I'm not doing too much, but it took a little bit of that redness away. It took a little bit of that discoloration away. And that's what I'm going for. I am not someone who powders or sets my whole face, but I do want to set the product that I have underneath my eyes. So I'm going in with my Prism Libre from Givenchy, the shade 3. again, my sponge that I just used, dipping it into the product here, but then pressing it into the back of the cap so that it's just a very subtle amount. Okay, my camera battery just straight up died on me, but what I did on this side was I took my sponge, dipped it into the Prism Libre powder, but then I like to kind of press it into the cap to push a little bit into my sponge. I have the bare minimum here, and I'm just going to kind of brush that on the areas where I put that concealer. I'm not trying to use too much powder. I don't want it to be too heavy, just like that. Okay, so from here, I want some sort of color on my cheeks, right? Like, I don't want it to be just flat matte, but I'm also not trying to do a full like bronzer, blush, contour. So what I'm gonna do is take this blush in Singe Beauty. This is in the shade Risky Raisin. It's more of like a deeper brown type of shade, but the thing that I like about the Singe blushes is that they also have a little bit of sheen to them. So I don't feel like I need to go in with extra highlighter, but with this shade, I don't feel like I need to go in with bronzer. I'm gonna take my Singe F06 and just lightly coat this onto my brush, tap a little extra off, and then what I'm gonna do is kind of focus it just right here on the outer portion of my cheek, and it's like where my blush would go, and I'm gonna just press it into the skin, take a little bit down here on the apples of my cheeks, and this is going to be like my blush, bronzer, and highlighter all in one. I'm not going in with an extra bronzer. I'm not going in with an extra blush. I'm not going in with an extra highlighter. And so this is going to give me the effect of all three. So like this side has nothing on it. This side, all I have is Risky Raisin. That's it. And you could build it up as much or as little as you want. I'm taking another little tiny tap, and I'm just going to build up this like back area over here and just kind of blend it all in with this Singe brush. That's it. It gives me a little bit of sheen with no sparkle, but it brings some color to my face without looking like I did too much. So I'm just gonna repeat on this side. And I'm gonna take and put just like a little bit on the bridge of my nose for a little extra color there, because why not? So here it is, Risky Raisin. That's the only thing that's on my cheeks, but it kind of brings my cheeks to life, gives me a little extra oomph, gives me a little color, and I don't feel like I need an extra bronzer or highlight. Okay, so for lips, I am taking this little tinted lip balm from Fantasy Cosmetica. This was in collaboration with my friend Amanda at Makeup Just for Fun. This is the coffee flavored shade. I feel like the name is Elixir. It's on the box, and I didn't keep these in the boxes. The other shade that I really love is Cozy, which kind of tastes like a s'more, or like you're at a campfire, but it's a little bit more of a pinky shade. But I'll take something like this, like a little tinted balm, and that'll just give me a little extra. These ones from Fantasy Cosmetica, they do give your lips some color, and like they taste and smell so good. This has a coffee flavor. I love it. I love it. It's so good. If you wanted a little bit more pigment, you could also take a lip liner and just run a lip liner like all over your lips and then put this on top. Absolutely beautiful. The mascara that I love for like my day-to-day, like when I'm just throwing myself together, is this one from Tower 28. It's called the Make Waves Mascara. It just says Jet. I'm missing my mascara, like my lash curler. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my lash curler and put this on my eyelashes so that you can see what it looks like when I have this mascara on. Like I said, if there's a day where I'm not going in with any eyeshadow, or it's more of like a natural eyeshadow look, a one and done, I really like this mascara because it does lengthen and voluminize, but it's not like a false lash effect. So if I'm going in with heavy glam, this isn't the mascara that I'm gonna choose, but if I'm looking for like a light beat, this will do it for me. All right, friends, and this is the completed look here. It's very minimalistic. I don't like to say no makeup because I'm not trying to look like I'm not wearing makeup. I'm trying to look put together and look like I'm awake and alive and ready for work by doing the bare minimum. So that is how we achieved it here. Very minimalistic, very natural looking. You can change it up, you can add or take away whatever you'd like. If you want more of a statement lip, you can go in with a bright bold lip, totally up to you. But that is how I do kind of like my day to day, going to work makeup, like quick and easy. So there you have it. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed before you go, because coming up here soon, we are going to be getting into my collection and declutter videos. So that's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.